In 2025, it's more important than ever to recognize that peace isn't something that just happens by accident or something you can passively wait for. Peace is something you have to actively choose every single day. We live in a world where distractions, chaos, and noise are constant. Whether it's the demands of your job, the expectations from others, or just the general pace of life, it feels like everything and everyone is pulling at you in different directions. But here's the thing, you can take control of it. Your peace, your calm, your sanity is something you have the power to protect, and it starts with making the conscious decision to prioritize it. It can be so easy to fall into the trap of thinking that peace is a luxury, that it's something you get when everything in your life falls into place, or when there's nothing left to worry about. The truth, though, is that peace is not a privilege, it's a practice. It's something you have to nurture, just like any other important aspect of your life. We've all had moments where it feels like the world is spinning out of control, and it can be hard to imagine how you could possibly find a moment of peace. But that's exactly when you need to step in and claim it more than ever. The first step to protecting your peace in 2025 is acknowledging that peace is within your control. No matter what happens around you, you have the ability to choose how you respond. It's not about controlling every circumstance. That's impossible. But it's about choosing where you place your energy, where you allow your focus to go, and how you protect yourself from the external noise. Your mind is a powerful tool, and you can train it to stay calm even when the world is chaotic. It's all about being intentional with how you navigate each day. There is power in the simple act of choosing peace. Think about the times when you've been overwhelmed with stress or anxiety. It's easy to get caught up in the cycle of worrying about what's coming next, about people's expectations, or about things you can't control. In these moments, peace often feels out of reach. But the truth is, even in these situations, you can choose to take a step back and reclaim your inner calm. It might start with a few deep breaths, or reminding yourself that it's okay to say no, or even just taking a break to reset your mind. These small choices might seem insignificant in the moment, but they build a foundation for peace that strengthens over time. In 2025, the key to protecting your peace is actively guarding it. It's not enough to simply hope it will appear when you need it. You have to make decisions that align with your peace. That might mean setting boundaries with people who drain your energy or avoiding situations that bring you stress. It might mean choosing to say no to something that isn't serving your mental or emotional health, even if others don't understand. Your peace deserves to be a priority, and when you make that choice, you will begin to see just how much you can accomplish when you're not constantly fighting against the chaos. And let's be real, choosing peace isn't always easy. There are times when it feels like the world is moving at 1,000,000 miles per hour and it's hard to keep up, let alone find stillness. There are times when the expectations of others, the responsibilities you carry, or even the pressure you put on yourself can make it seem like peace is impossible. But that's the exact moment when you need it the most. Peace is not the absence of challenges or noise. It's the ability to remain centered and focused even when things around you are unpredictable. One of the most powerful tools in protecting your peace is learning how to let go of the things you can't control. In life, there will always be things that are beyond your reach, whether it's how others treat you, events that happen unexpectedly, or the choices of the people around you. You cannot control everything, and trying to do so will only cause unnecessary stress and anxiety. Instead, focus on the things that are within your control, your actions, your reactions, and the energy you bring into each moment. Letting go of the need to control everything frees up mental space and helps you find peace, even in the most trying times. In a world that constantly demands more from you, protecting your peace requires a level of self-awareness that's often hard to come by. But when you develop that awareness, you begin to understand what things and people are draining your energy and what things are nurturing it. You start to notice when your peace is being compromised, and you have the ability to take action before it's too late. Whether it's walking away from toxic environments or simply taking a break when you need it, choosing peace is about recognizing your limits and honoring them. Another powerful aspect of protecting your peace is learning to say no. Saying no doesn't make you weak or selfish. It makes you strong. It shows that you value yourself enough to put your well-being above external demands. In 2025, one of the best ways to protect your peace is by saying no to things that don't align with your personal values or priorities. It's about recognizing that your energy is limited and you have the right to choose how you spend it. Whether it's turning down a request from someone who constantly drains you or stepping back from a project that isn't fulfilling your peace comes first. In the end, protecting your peace is about making intentional choices that serve your mental, emotional, and physical well-being. It's about taking control of your life instead of letting life control you. In a world that will always try to take from you, protecting your peace is the most powerful act of self-care you can give yourself. And once you realize that peace is something you choose every day, you'll find that it becomes easier to maintain no matter what life throws your way. In 2025, protecting your peace isn't just about keeping negative people or energy at bay. It's about recognizing the power of your own mindset, how you see the world, how you approach each day, and how you process the challenges in front of you. This is what shapes the peace you carry within yourself. Peace doesn't just appear when everything in your life aligns perfectly. It's a choice you make daily, but it's also a practice you cultivate. It's important to remember that peace comes from within. And in many ways, it starts with the way you speak to yourself and the stories you tell yourself. We all have an internal dialogue, the way we talk to ourselves, how we respond to challenges, and how we deal with setbacks. And if we're being honest, many of us are our own harshest critics. It's easy to get caught in negative thought patterns, to listen to that voice in your head that tells you you're not good enough, that you'll never make it, or that things will never change. These thoughts, if left unchecked, can chip away at your peace. They create anxiety, self-doubt, and fear, all of which rob you of your ability to stay centered and calm. But here's the powerful truth. You have the ability to change the narrative. You don't have to be a prisoner to your own thoughts. It starts with awareness. Becoming aware of the way you speak to yourself is the first step in protecting your peace. How many times have you found yourself caught up in negative thinking, assuming the worst, or focusing on what could go wrong instead of what could go right? This kind of thinking only feeds stress and anxiety. It keeps you stuck in a cycle of fear and self-criticism. But when you begin to notice these patterns, you can make a conscious effort to shift your mindset. This doesn't mean pretending everything is perfect or ignoring the challenges in your life. It means choosing to focus on what's within your control and choosing a perspective that empowers you rather than one that weakens you. When you change the way you speak to yourself, you change the way you experience the world. Instead of seeing obstacles as insurmountable, you begin to see them as opportunities for growth. Instead of seeing setbacks as failures, you see them as lessons. Instead of believing that you're helpless, you remember your own strength and resilience. This shift in mindset doesn't happen overnight, but it's a process worth committing to. And the more you practice it, the easier it becomes to maintain that peace, no matter what life throws your way. One of the most powerful ways to protect your peace is by being intentional about where you place your focus. It's easy to get distracted by the chaos of the world around you, whether it's the constant news cycle, the demands of social media, or the pressures from others. All of these external factors have the potential to shake your peace. But you have the power to choose what you focus on. You can choose to give your attention to things that nurture you, things that lift you up, and things that contribute to your peace. The things you allow yourself to focus on will shape your experience of the world. If you're constantly consumed by negativity, fear, or anxiety, that's what you'll manifest in your life. But if you choose to focus on your growth, your goals, and the things that bring you joy and fulfillment, you'll start to notice a shift in your overall sense of calm. This is where self-care becomes critical. Self-care isn't just about taking time to relax or pamper yourself. though those things are important too. It's about creating habits that protect your peace and nurture your mental, emotional, and physical health. Simple practices like meditation, journaling, or spending time in nature can help you reconnect with yourself and ground your energy. These practices create a buffer against the noise of the world and help you stay centered. But self-care also extends to the people you allow into your life and the environments you expose yourself to. If you surround yourself with people who drain your energy, who bring negativity into your space, or who don't respect your boundaries, it's going to be harder to maintain your peace. Protecting your peace means choosing the people and environments that support your well-being. And sometimes that means making hard choices about who or what you allow into your life. Another essential aspect of protecting your peace in 2025 is learning to set clear boundaries. Boundaries are not selfish. They're necessary. When you fail to set boundaries, you're allowing others to dictate your energy, your time, and your peace. But when you learn to say no to things that don't serve you or to people who don't respect your needs, you're taking back control. It's empowering to set boundaries because it's a way of showing yourself that you matter, that your peace is worth protecting, and that you won't allow anyone or anything to disrupt your inner calm. Setting boundaries also means giving yourself permission to walk away from situations or relationships that no longer align with your values or your peace. Whether it's a toxic friendship, a job that drains you, or an environment that doesn't feel supportive, sometimes the most peaceful thing you can do is remove yourself from what's not serving you. This can be difficult, especially when there are emotional ties involved, but the peace you gain from doing so is immeasurable. You deserve to be in spaces that nurture your growth, your happiness, and your well-being. And if something or someone is making you feel less than, it's okay to step away and preserve your peace. Lastly, protecting your peace in 2025 also means embracing the power of presence. So much of our stress and anxiety comes from worrying about the past or the future, things we can't change or control. The key to finding peace in any situation is learning to be fully present in the moment. When you're present, you're not distracted by what happened yesterday or by what might happen tomorrow. You're able to experience life as it unfolds without adding unnecessary layers of stress. Being present allows you to fully appreciate the good moments, to face challenges with clarity, and to move through life with a sense of calm and confidence. It's a skill that requires practice, but it's one of the most powerful ways to protect your peace and maintain your mental and emotional balance. In the end, protecting your peace is not a one-time event. It's an ongoing, conscious decision you make every day. It's about controlling where you place your energy, how you speak to yourself, and the boundaries you set. It's about being present and mindful of the things that nurture your peace and about having the courage to let go of the things that don't. When you do this, you'll find that peace isn't something that just happens, it's something you create. And once you learn how to protect it, you'll be amazed at the strength and clarity you find within yourself. In 2025, your peace will be one of your greatest assets, and one of the most vital ways to protect it is by embracing the power of boundaries. Boundaries are not limitations or walls to keep people out. They are, in fact, a way of showing respect to yourself and to others. They are the invisible lines that protect your emotional, mental, and physical space. In a world that constantly demands more of us, from the expectations of others to the pressure of deadlines, it's easy to overlook the importance of boundaries. Yet the moment we fail to establish them, we begin to erode. The truth is, many of us struggle with boundaries because we are taught to be accommodating, to say yes to people even when it's detrimental to our well-being. We are conditioned to believe that pleasing others is a sign of kindness or even strength, but in reality, failing to establish boundaries only leads to burnout, resentment, and the loss of our inner calm. When you constantly prioritize other people's needs and desires over your own, you begin to lose sight of what truly matters to you. Your energy becomes scattered, your peace disrupted, and your sense of self slowly slips away. It's not a sign of weakness to say no. It's a sign of strength. It's a declaration that you value your well-being and that you're willing to protect it at all costs. Boundaries are not just about saying no to others, they are about saying yes to yourself. They allow you to make intentional choices about where to direct your energy, who to invest in emotionally, and what to prioritize in your life. And when you make those decisions consciously, you create a foundation of stability that supports your peace. For instance, when someone continuously demands your time or energy without regard for your own needs, a well-placed boundary can protect you from feeling drained and overwhelmed. You don't have to feel guilty for saying no when you are protecting your peace. You don't have to apologize for putting yourself first when you know it's what will allow you to show up as your best self for those you care about. The power of boundaries is especially important in the relationships we have with others. It's easy to let people's opinions and behaviors dictate how we feel. If you allow someone to disrespect you or treat you poorly without addressing it, your peace is at risk. But when you set clear boundaries, you teach others how to treat you. You communicate without words that you value yourself enough to not accept anything less than respect and kindness. This doesn't mean you become rigid or unwilling to compromise. It simply means you create an environment where mutual respect can thrive. In fact, healthy relationships are built on a foundation of boundaries. When you know where you end and someone else begins, you both feel more secure, more understood, and more capable of fostering a deep and meaningful connection. Another critical aspect of boundaries is the role they play in protecting your time. In today's world, time has become one of our most precious resources, yet so many people feel like they are constantly running on empty, as if there's never enough time in the day to get everything done. This often happens because we allow our time to be taken up by demands, obligations, and people who don't respect our need for space. But when you set boundaries around your time, by saying no to unnecessary commitments, prioritizing your well-being, and blocking out time for rest, you create a sense of control. You stop feeling like a slave to your calendar and start feeling empowered in how you use your time. One of the most challenging aspects of boundaries is dealing with the fear of upsetting others. Many of us fear that if we set boundaries, people will think we're selfish, cold, or uncaring. We worry that we'll disappoint others or that they will stop liking us. But the reality is, when you set boundaries with kindness and respect, you're not only taking care of yourself, but you're also teaching others how to care for you. It's not about being abrasive or rejecting others. It's about being clear about what you need and how you expect to be treated. The right people in your life will understand this, and they will appreciate the space you create for yourself. The people who truly care about you will respect your boundaries, and in doing so, they will contribute to your peace rather than taking it away. There's also an element of protecting your peace through boundaries that involves controlling the external noise that surrounds you. Whether it's the endless barrage of news, the pressure of social media, or the constant demands of work and personal life, the external world has a way of filling your space with distractions and stress. This is why it's so important to protect your peace by limiting exposure to things that drain you. It could mean setting boundaries with social media by limiting your screen time or unfollowing accounts that make you feel less than or stressed. It could mean turning off the news or setting specific times to check in on what's going on in the world rather than letting it consume your mind. By curating your environment, you create space for peace to flourish. Sometimes the most difficult boundaries to set are the ones we have with ourselves. How often do we ignore our own needs in the name of productivity, achievement, or trying to meet other people's expectations? We push ourselves past the point of exhaustion, neglect our mental and emotional health, and ignore the signs that we need rest or time to recharge. Setting boundaries with yourself means recognizing when you need to step back, when it's okay to pause, and when you need to rest. It means honoring your own limits, knowing that rest is not a sign of weakness, but a crucial part of maintaining your strength. Without these self-imposed boundaries, you can quickly find yourself overwhelmed, stressed, and disconnected from your inner peace. In 2025, your peace is invaluable, and one of the most powerful ways to protect it is by setting clear, healthy boundaries. You can't always control the people or situations around you, but you can control how you respond to them. When you begin to establish boundaries, whether with others, your time, or yourself, you take back control of your life. You stop letting outside forces dictate your emotional state, and you create an environment that supports your growth, your peace, and your well-being. Setting boundaries isn't easy, and it requires practice. But once you begin, you'll feel the difference. You'll feel the weight lift off your shoulders, and you'll realize that protecting your peace is one of the most powerful things you can do for yourself. It's a choice you make for your mental and emotional health, and one that will benefit you in ways you can't yet imagine. When you make the choice to protect your peace, it's not just about taking control of your surroundings or relationships. It's also about developing the inner strength to resist the pressures of outside influences. In 2025, we live in a world that constantly demands our attention. At its core, protecting your peace means learning to differentiate between what truly deserves your attention and what is simply cluttering your mind. The constant influx of information, whether it's the latest news, a new social trend, or a viral story, has the potential to overwhelm and distract us. We're constantly bombarded with messages that pull us in every direction, often leaving us feeling like we're losing control of our mental space. This is where the power of intentionality comes in. It's about choosing to engage with only the things that align with your values and your vision for your life. By intentionally filtering out what doesn't serve you, you free up space to focus on what matters most: your growth, your goals, and your well-being. A significant part of this process involves recognizing the impact that external influences can have on your mental and emotional state. When you allow external circumstances or other people's opinions to dictate your mood, you give away your power. You begin to feel as though you have no control over your own feelings, and this is where your peace starts to slip away. Learning how to shield yourself from unnecessary drama or negativity becomes a vital skill. This could mean limiting your exposure to social media, setting boundaries around the conversations you engage in, or even disconnecting from toxic environments that leave you feeling drained. It's not about isolating yourself. It's about curating your environment in a way that nurtures your peace and shields you from the things that threaten it. The more you practice protecting your peace, the more you'll begin to notice the difference it makes in your life. You'll notice that you start feeling more grounded, more in control, and more at ease. Your emotional state won't be as easily swayed by outside circumstances, and you'll find that your relationships become healthier and more balanced. When you learn to protect your peace, you give yourself the space to focus on what truly matters: your growth, your happiness, and your inner strength. And when you're in a place of peace, that's when you're at your most powerful. Another powerful aspect of protecting your peace is recognizing that not everyone needs to understand or approve of your choices. Often we get caught up in seeking validation from others, whether it's from friends, family, or even strangers online. We measure our worth by how others perceive us, and we often let their opinions define our happiness. But in doing so, we lose sight of who we truly are and what we truly want. When you learn to protect your peace, you stop looking for approval outside of yourself. You become secure in your own decisions, regardless of whether others understand them. It's important to realize that people will have different opinions, different expectations, and different values. Not everyone will agree with the choices you make, and that's okay. In fact, it's natural for people to question things they don't understand. But when you know what is best for you, when you've taken the time to reflect on your values and goals, you can stand firm in your decisions without needing anyone else's approval. Your peace is yours to protect, and it is not dependent on the opinions or judgments of others. Furthermore, protecting your peace is not about avoiding conflict at all costs. It's about knowing how to handle conflict in a way that preserves your inner calm. Conflict is a natural part of life, and it's something we all face at various points. But how we respond to conflict can determine whether or not it disrupts our peace. When we react impulsively or emotionally to conflict, we often end up exacerbating the situation and giving away our energy. However, when we approach conflict with a calm mind and a strong sense of self, we can navigate even the most challenging situations without losing our composure. Learning how to handle conflict with grace and emotional intelligence is a key component of protecting your peace. It's about responding with intention rather than reacting out of anger or frustration. In 2025, one of the most effective ways to protect your peace is through practicing mindfulness and self-awareness. The more aware you are of your thoughts and emotions, the better equipped you'll be to manage them. Mindfulness allows you to observe your feelings without judgment, giving you the power to choose how to respond. When you're mindful of your emotions, you can create the space to process them in a healthy way rather than letting them control you. This level of self-awareness is empowering because it puts you in the driver's seat of your own emotional experience. Instead of being tossed around by the waves of external circumstances, you learn how to steer your own ship. Mindfulness also helps you stay present in the moment, which is crucial for protecting your peace. When we focus too much on the past or worry too much about the future, we lose the ability to fully experience the present. And the present is where your peace exists. By practicing mindfulness, you can cultivate a deep sense of calm and contentment, no matter what's happening around you. It's a practice that, when applied consistently, becomes a powerful tool for safeguarding your peace.